Right, we have got to get ourselves ready for the Premier League now after a championship winning season in the Championship. We've now got to make ourselves Premier League ready. And by Premier League ready, I mean just absolute survival. We've got to bring in worthy enough additions to make sure we avoid the drop next season. And that is it. That is the whole sole goal. Avoid relegation from the Premier League. Well, right, guys, before we get into any juicy transfer business, we have our end of season review to go through. And it was a successful season, as we know. We won the Championship with a few games in hand as well. So we did it handsomely. And now we're, facing the prospect of playing Premier League football. So all in all, couldn't be better. 100% attendance throughout the whole season. We're screaming out for that stadium, and it's still in the planning phase, or planning permission phase anyway. No new news on that, but hopefully it will come soon. Moments to remember: 7-1 win against Blackpool. Match to remember was 3-0 against Coventry, and goal of season scored by Ortiz against Luton. That is pretty much it. All right, all the games of the league have been finished now. The playoff finals have been played. Burnley beat Leicester to go up with us into the Premier League, so well done to them. And a few last accolades to go through as well. Daniel Lewis was close to getting the top goal scorer award. He had 19 goals, league goals. Nathan Lowe at Stoke had 20, and Jorginho Rutter at Leeds had 21. So he wasn't far off the pace. He was pretty much matching Nathan Lowe on goals and assists, but Jorginho Rutter with 21 goals and 13 assists, quite rightly scoops the award. Our player, Christian Sareva, scoops the Championship Young Player of the Year award. With his 9 goals and 6 assists as well, with an average rating of 7.24. So yeah, that is good for us. I get Manager of the Season, and we get a couple of players in the Team of the Year in Harry Mills and Harrison Parker as well. We do have a couple of transfers that have been made, and I'm going to go straight in for the most notable one, and that is the sale of Lamar Gordon. Lamar Gordon has gone for 21.5 million. He's going to Atletico Pamplona. He wanted about £35,000 a week in a new contract. He's an awesome player, but he's 25 years old. I can't afford to be paying any players, I don't think, that much yet. Yeah, I need a season in the Premier League, become safe in the Premier League, and then once we've been in there a full season, we can fully start benefiting from Premier League money. But for the moment, I think at 25 years old, getting £21.5 million for Lamar Gordon is the best thing I could have done, really. The sale of Sinan Kaya has been confirmed as well. Even though he only played 3 appearances and 1 off the bench for them, they still pulled the trigger, and he's going for the 5.75 million. Elsewhere, youngster Hugo Del Hay, there are clubs queuing up for him, and I don't get it. Is there something that clubs are seeing that I didn't? I didn't see a future for him, so I put him on a list, and literally instantly four offers came in, loads of interest, and he got snapped up. Maybe it was for the price, maybe player for the price. I don't know. Anyway, players to come in. We got Che Weir, who's coming in on an end of contract deal. He has been playing at Sassuolo. And he's English, 22 years old, still got potential to grow into, and can play central attacking midfield, left wing, and central midfield as well. But yeah, good attacker. I mean, this sort of player can come in and essentially fill the void left by Lamar Gordon. So that's not too bad. Marcus Cousins is a young right back. I mean, 20 years old. He's not young, but he's got good pros as well. He likes important matches and nothing too much going against him, and he's just a bit of backup at right back, still looking to offload the likes of Jordan Gabriel in his last year of his contract. I think he's only going to be declining. He's going to be turning 33. Yeah, I could keep him around just for the last thing, but if I get any money for him, I'll get money for him. Well, I've run out of time. Ready or not, the opening day of the season's here, and we've got to be ready to play Everton. I did everything I could. There's still potential for more players to come in. We do still have a little bit of money to play with. As far as being ready for the opening day of the season goes, this is where we are. So let's have a look at what our odds are saying for the forthcoming season. And there we are at the bottom, where we're happy. We're used to being there. No one needs to worry about us. Forget we're there, kind of thing. 2,000 to 1 odds to go basically straight back down. All right, let's have a look at the transfers then. I'll quickly go over the transfers that went out. Obviously, we know about Lamar Gordon. He brought in a substantial amount of money for us to play with. And then we got rid of a couple of young fringe players. Elijah Morgan's, well, a load of players have gone out on loan anyway. Lean Creakles, who only just came in really last year as a youngster, has gone to Reading with a big percentage clause should they sell him on. Henry Fieldson has gone to Watford. He didn't really have much more potential to grow much more as a player. He's very solid. But I felt I needed to step up, and I felt like he was the one to make room for additional centre-backs to come in. There is a lot of competition in that area. Stephen Chapman, he has gone to Wrexham with potential up to 1.1 million. He was only just in recently as well, previously of Man City. Basically getting £1 million off him. Didn't even step on the pitch, so, you know, it's all good. And Josh Kelly has gone out on loan as well, so we freed up some goalkeeper space as well. Leo Frey as well. Number one goalkeeper, Leo Frey, has gone out on loan to CN. So yeah, that's two of our best goalkeepers. So we must have got more goalkeepers in. And yes, we have. But I'm going to go from the top of the list. Right, so first of all, we have Elliot Kidner from Middlesbrough for £1.6 million. He is a centre-back. He is coming in to take place that free space in central defence. He's only 20 years old. He's got room to grow as well and develop. So yeah, he's a very nice player. Only 6 foot, but he can jump fairly well. He can head the ball fairly well. So, you know, all in all, I think he's a capable centre-back. Yeah. And he's going to grow into that position alongside Harrison Parker quite well, I think. So yeah, he's in, and yeah, exciting. So his value is already at nearly sort of 12 million or whatever. That should just grow as it grows with the club as well. Next on the list is Che Weir. We had him arranged for a while before because he was a end of contract signing, and I liked him because he was English, and I was realizing I had a distinct lack of English players. And as we get closer to sort of European football, whatever, I do want to have a stronger English contingent. We're an English club. Want English players to represent. God damn, they're expensive. Like, just for an average player, you're looking to spend nearly 20 million. So getting this guy on a free contract, look, if he was out on the market, I would have been probably looking at about £15 million for this guy, I reckon. But anyway, Jay Weir, he was playing at Sassuolo before. He's been at a fair few different clubs, but I think he just comes in and provides good cover, squad player. Yeah, and I feel like he can come in and do a job for us in that sort of central attacking midfield role, or on the left, cutting inside as an inside forward. Next up is a youngster, Marcus Cousins. We got him from Crystal Palace. Was he end of contract? I can't remember if we got him end of contract or whether he was just for nothing. Anyway, it must have been end of contract, surely. I think he was. Yeah, so he's 22 years old actually, so he's not that young. But to bring in a bit of cover on the right side of defence, I feel like he can still develop as well. He's not great. That was another thing I was finding. Quality fullbacks or whatever, again, so expensive, or the quality that I really wanted just weren't interested to come to the club. They're like unicorns. You know, if they were good, if they were sort of at a level that I felt was the step up we needed, they just didn't want to come, or the value or wage demands or the wages they already got were just absolutely horrendous. So this is the best I could come up with. Good sound competition in that position against Bogdan Lupu. Obviously, we've got Bogdan Lupu, who is only 20 years old, so he's still growing into his role and his abilities. So it's just back up in that position. So yeah, Marcus Cousins. Next up is one of our goalkeepers. I'm going to do this the other way around actually. So first of all, I was trying to sign these two guys at the same time. Paulo Goncalves, 18 years old, Portuguese, under 21s international. Would only sign as the first choice goalkeeper. I'm not sure whether he's better than the other guy, who we'll get to in a sec. However, he's only 18 years old, so he's got tons and tons of potential to grow into as well. Got a bit of an attitude on his face. I don't know what to tell you about that. Looks like he's got a face you can slap. But if he does the job on the field, who cares? Right. Paulo Goncalves. He is in, and he was in for, what did we get him in for? Very reasonable price. £1.8 million for a number one goalkeeper with so much potential at 18 years old. I mean, he's already worth over 10 million. And as he grows, he's just going to increase in value. I probably see him developing into the future Portuguese number one international. But we'll see anyway. And then after him, we got Adriano Kopic. And yeah, I like him too. I was trying to go for a different goalkeeper before who was just a different level. And I felt like we were so close to signing him. Yeah, and we lost him. But I thought we were so close because he'd had the contract with him for what seemed like about a week. And I was like, just one of these clicks, and it's just going to be saying, right, confirm the signing or whatever. Or work permit or whatever. That's what I was waiting for, literally any click. And instead of that, it came up that someone else had come in for him as well. And I can't remember who it was. It was either Inter Milan or Sevilla. And he was called Luis, Spanish goalkeeper, 22 years old. But he was immense. He was immense. He was available for, I think it was about 5.6 million because the club he was at, he had a relegation clause and they got relegated. But the quality of goalkeeper he was immense, like different level to these guys. He was like fully evolved one of these guys. And yeah, he would have just been absolutely unbelievable. Instead, we're going to have to grow these guys into what we need. And so they're not going to be the goalkeeper we need from the outset, but they're going to grow into it. So I'm not going to hold too much against these guys as they're developing still. Yeah, I couldn't get the number one goalkeeper. That was another thing. For the level of goalkeeper we needed, just far too much money for what we could afford as well. It would have been great if we got that guy, but he went somewhere else. So I cried a lot. Right, next up is Josip Dubovic from Osijek. He's come in for £2.2 million. He's going to be coming in and providing competition in our base of midfield. He comes in as probably one of our top players in that position, actually. But he's in as a squad player. He's only 21 and just sort of 21. So lots of developing to go for him too. And just a good, sound player to cover in that position. I feel my number one players are still going to be Martin Ferreira and Glenn Tiernan in that position. But we've got good, solid competition coming in as well. Next up is Isidro for £3 million. And he's come in from Oviedo. He is left back. But I'm going to be training him to be able to cover right back as well. So, yeah, I feel like he's pretty smart. 22 years old, Spanish, comes in as a squad player as well, enjoys big matches, but got some good physicals on him, good bravery, determination, and yeah, he's got some developing to do as well. Come in as good cover competition for Harry Mills, because we needed that, because, yeah, our other left back, Salvatore Moni, he's gone out on loan as well. Another one I didn't mention. There were so many loans gone out, so yeah, Salvatore Moni, the little sulk wag, he's gone. Going in the wrong direction here. Yeah, so that is cover at left back, and once he's learnt to play at right back as well, cover at right back. Right, next up on the list is Jonathan Noord from Standard Liège. And he comes in for big money now. We're starting to throw money about. He comes in for 8.5 million. Now, he's not the star-studded player that you think he is. He is potential. He is 19-year-old Belgium, under 21 capped. And if he develops well, he could turn into an outrageous striker, I think. So it just depends on how he develops. But I feel like we could probably cover what we spent on him anyway at some point if he doesn't. So, yeah, loads of potential. Great physicals. Determination, anticipation, great. Good heading, so we've got an aerial presence now up front as well, which we didn't really have for a while. But good finishing as well. All in all, I think he's got some good rounded attributes to him, and he can develop into a striker we probably just haven't got at the club. So yeah, I think he could be a quality signing moving forward, especially as he continues to develop. And last on the list is our next transfer record smash, because Jonathan Nord was, and then we smashed it again straight away after that with Tony Salaberry from Reims. He is a 20-year-old French midfielder. He can play it centre back. He can play defensive midfield. He can play midfield. He can almost play it right back, but he's never going to play there, I don't think. But yeah, 20 years old, bags of potential. Basically, the ideal situation would be Martin Ferreira and Glenn Tiernan will continue to play our number one rock position in those roles at the base of midfield. Glenn Tiernan's only 23 still, so he's still developing, increasing in value. Martin Ferreira, he's 24 to 26 million. If he has another good season, they might go at the end of the season. They might have some tomorrows, and they might go. And by that time, Josip Dubrovic and Tony Salaberry could come in and then just take the mantle and be our new pair at the base of midfield. And I think they do a really, really good job. Two types of players who could probably complement each other quite well. But yeah, that is all the players in. And and now we've just got to step up. We've got to face Everton on the opening day of the season. We've had a successful pre-season, and I've put proper challenges in. So we've won every game we've been up against. Sheffield United, Premier League opposition, we won. Burnley went up with us, Premier League opposition, we won. Then we were away on our training camp in France, and we got a good victory against Charleroi, who are in the Belgium top league as well, the Jupiler Pro League. And we beat them comfortably 4-2. And then we played Anderlecht kids, basically, I think they were. So the Anderlecht futures. But we gave them a proper good humbling. 6-0, we came away from that one. So all looking pretty good. And then it was Nottingham Forest, again, Premier League opposition. We dispatched them quite comfortably, 4-1. And then we finished up against Wolves, again, Premier League opposition, and we won. So I know that's not really a gauge to go off for the rest of the season, but it's a good sign. So I'm looking forward to getting going. But we do open the season against Everton, and then Man City, and then Chelsea. And then we got Fulham in the Carabao Cup. And then we got teams like Brighton. And then teams that we know we have beaten already, Sheffield United. But yeah, it's going to be a tough start to the season. And just looking ahead, so many teams that are just a little bit scary to face. Aston Villa, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United. And we would have already faced Chelsea, Man City. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough ride, but there is a potential that might make some further additions. We've still got nearly 13 million in the transfer budget remaining. I will be looking at moving some more players on, so it might increase. But most of them are looking like interesting loans at the moment, so we might just be able to free up some more wage budget, which we can then play with. Anyway, that's it. There's no more time to prepare. So I will see you next episode for the opening game of the season against Everton. As usual, if you've liked that, please leave us a like, leave us a comment in the comments below. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. As for now, I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next one. See ya.